you put the shirt, I put the background.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
I was like, I have to do it for you.
thanks, man. So thoughtful of you, man.
Yeah, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay, man. How
Yeah,
are you?
I'm good. I want to see. Wait, that shirt is from 99, 2000. So no,
Yeah, I think it's
the season
2000,
2000 and
2000 to
2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have a name at the back or no?
No, I found it. It's my brother's friend's shirt from when I was
Oh,
a kid. So like
cool.
when I was a little kid, like from when I just realized that I like football,
Yeah.
my brother was watching Manchester United, so I was like, yeah, Manchester United, that's my team. And he has this shirt on his like wardrobe, and I
Yeah.
took it, but it turns out it's his friend, so it has his friend's name in the
Really?
back. Yeah, I
That's hilarious.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
a classic one, so it's really good with
It
the
is a classic. It is a
Champions League
classic.
badge on it.
Exactly, exactly. So first of all, thank you for being here.
Dude, no worries, man.
um, I've, I've
Glad to
been
be here, man.
doing this series of interviews for a bit of a while now, and I'm interviewing people that I consider have worked in the music industry and have done some sort of impact in their countries. And yeah, so before going into the questions I have for you, give us some background about you, about how you like your whole story, how you ended up working in music. And I remember the last time we saw each other when we were in Korea, you told me the story
Yes.
of how your parents named you and how they chose the
Yeah.
letter. So just tell us more about your story.
Okay, so my name is Xandega Tahajuansya. It starts with an X. So to tell you again the story how my parents named me is because my dad's name starts with B and my mother's name starts with an A. So they have this inside joke when they were like still uh, early in their uh, early in their relationship that they are always bummed out because they are always being called out to the front of the class, the first ones to be called on to the front of the class to present things, and they are so always bummed about that. And they have a joke that, hey, when we have a kid, we should name our kids with the letters at the end of the alphabet. So I'm X, starting with an X. My little sister started with the Z, and my older brother started with a Q. So it's Quantara, my older brother. Zanidia is my little sister, and me, Zandega.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, it's the peak of my mother and father's creative output.
Yeah, so
And
so you've always been based in Jakarta?
based in Jakarta, born and raised.
Okay, cool. And how did you end up? I know you're also a musician, but how did you end up getting into music in the first place and then working in the music industry?
So basically, I've been wanting to be a musician or be involved with music since uh, I was a little kid because thankfully my brother and father was really into music since they were kids also, and they just passed me down some uh, mostly rock music like Nirvana, Led Zeppelin, Yes, and Limp Bizkit, and then I just uh, take them and I really like them. And then I was in a band in my elementary school covering Linkin Park. And I was in an emo band in my middle school. And I was in a metal band in my high school. And when I was in college, I was in my band that I am still in right now. It's called Polka Wars.
Yeah.
And basically, I studied mass communication, hoping to be a filmmaker. I'm still obsessed to be a filmmaker, but it's always been my passion to be a musician and working in music also. and my life goal is to be involved in doing music and make money, hopefully out of it, till I can have an early retirement on music and then start making movies in my 40s, hopefully. So I started doing music because when I was in college, I don't have any friends in my university, because I always after I finished my classes, I started working. Sometimes I was working for a retailer shop. I was working at a production house, but mostly I started this collective, music collective called Studio Rama,
Yeah.
and it's a bunch of music lovers, musicians, and music journalists. It was the time of the BlackBerry. It was 2011. Everyone was using their BlackBerry, and we have this group called Music Sucks. We were being sarcastic, but we always talking about music.
Yeah.
And back then, on 2011, there were not a lot of DIY music gigs, and we decided, hey, let's do some music gigs that also showcases not only new and emerging music, but new and emerging visual artists, because visual artists always goes hand in hand with the music. So we decided to do our first gig on March 2011 in a music studio rehearsal space, and it can only fit like 30 people, but they have a rooftop where we uh, set up a DJ set. So there was three bands playing on the studio, 30 people packed in, and on the rooftop there will be another 30 people hanging out while the DJ is playing, and at the same time there were two visual artists doing the visuals behind the DJ and the musicians.
So this was the
And
first. This was your first gig in 2011.
yeah,
And
2011, and we chipped in. So it was like 12 of us back then, and we chipped in to raise money to do the gig. And mostly we asked bands that we really like. So mainly the team in Studio Rama agenda is look for bands that we like, and we book them so we can hang out with them and get to know them better. So that's the whole thing. So we've been doing that gig for free for another 3 to 4 years. But things because things got bigger and bigger, we have offers from other organizations to ask them to collaborate. So we did some music festivals. We have our own little stage at their festivals, and we've asked by like a fashion big market. So the fashion market has also food bazaars, and they want to have music. So we arrange all the music and all the bands that were performing there. So the music program, and it has been going till right now. And we got offers from also bigger companies to do their music events. So we started to do this as a business since 2018. Also we promote concerts from musicians from all over the world to play in Jakarta
yeah.
since 2014.
So this is all under Studio Rama, right?
Yes,
That's
yes,
the whole thing is under Studio Rama, and
yes,
under that you've also launched a music festival, right? Or
yes,
you've
yes,
organized the music festival. So
yeah,
tell us more about that. It's called Archipelago Festival, right?
yeah. Archipelago Festival started 4 years ago, and we did it in a collaboration with Sounds from the Corner. So Sounds from the Corner is uh, the main music video archive in Indonesia, music video archive in Indonesia. So they do live concerts and live sessions. Most of the biggest and best, not only biggest, but up and coming best musicians in Indonesia mostly have the video being recorded by Sound from the Corner. And if you want to know what music, what kind of music Indonesia has, you can go to Sounds from the Corner because they have everything from pop to world music to rap to anything, and they do it in the best way. So we have been friends with them for a long while. They've documented our concerts, one of our earlier concerts, and then we have this vision of, hey, let's make basically a conference festival, kind of like similar like what they did in South by Southwest. So we were inspired by that, but hopefully we can spread the knowledge and the resources and people in the industry sharing their expertise to other people in the industry in Indonesia, started mostly to get the industry more knowledgeable and can help each other to go forward together. So basically it started with that, and then we wanted it to be to reach more people, not only in Indonesia, and we started to do collaborations. Also, we did a collaboration 2 years ago with Bangkok Music City. It was organized by the people from Fangjai, and we had a stage there. Uh, Archipelago had a stage for 2 days representing musicians from Indonesia. Met a lot of people there, and we share some knowledge about the music from Thailand, not only from Thailand, from all over the countries. And thankfully, we had the chance to represent the music of Indonesia there. So that's is Archipelago, and we've been mostly the festival is we separated into two parts. Mostly the showcase festival, so we put emerging bands and bands that we think need more exposure, and we have a showcase for them, and then the conference where the talk shows, the speed datings and focus group discussions and everything talking about the industry.
It's both local and international acts, right?
Yeah, we worked we worked closely for a couple of years with the British Council also, so we got help from them, and they linked us to musicians from the UK, but we also did collaborations with musicians. We also brought musicians from Thailand and from Singapore on our first year. So we wanted it to be our ambition is hopefully to be spread around Southeast Asia. But as we go on, we decided to focus it more on Indonesia first. So because Indonesia is a big country with a lot of islands, and even we are not that well connected with the people from different cities in Indonesia. So after the first 2 years, we decided like, hey, let's try the last archipelago. We decided to make it more compact but more focused, and it thankfully it works too. So, but because of the pandemic, couldn't uh, we couldn't expand more, because at the big picture, we also wanted it to be Southeast Asia, even an Asian music conference and showcase festival.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, so because Indonesia is quite a big country, I mean, it's not 9 million or 9.5 million, something like this, of like the population. So because of that, and because of what you're doing in Jakarta, I wanted to see, is there in general, so before the pandemic, is there a touring schedule like within the country? Are bands able to tour from city to city? And that's first of all. And second of all, is there like a genre of music that dominates in general? Like, for example, here in the Middle East, it's, Arab pop is the dominating genre of music. Is there something like that in Indonesia?
So for the first question, we do have a route of tour where usually musicians uh, take if they want to tour the whole country, but because we are separated uh, like into one, two, three, four big islands. It's usually divided into four of those islands. So, and mainly because Indonesia has so many people in it, but mostly uh, centralized in the Java island. So most of the bands, maybe more smaller bands, only bother to tour Java, but most of the more adventurous bands and most more well-known bands, they do the whole thing. But uh, a proper tour is not really a common thing here because it's usually we usually like if a band put out an album, they usually get uh, get booked by a lot of events from all over the countries, from all over the cities, because there's a lot of events almost every weekend from all over the countries. And we also have this thing that is a high school music festival and also a university music festival. So not only university that has a music festival, but high schools here in Indonesia also have music festivals. And it's a culture here that the teachers and school encourages the students to make a music festival, and they usually book the bands that they really like,
Okay, so
the students and their friends.
they book established bands, established
Yes,
Indonesian bands. Okay, cool,
yeah.
cool.
So that's a real thing, and we play a lot. Like even my band play a lot of like high school music festivals and university music festivals. But usually there are uh, because when they play festivals, the presentation is not always suited for the music and the album that a band is trying to present to their audience. So sometimes ambitious bands do make their own tour, and the route is usually a lot. It usually goes from Sumatra and then goes to Java, and then maybe sorry, there are five big islands, and then so from Sumatra to Java, that's one of the main cities where they have a lot of like music enthusiasts. But there are Makassar, Manado, and then uh, so there's like mainly two cities in two of the other big islands, and then there's a lot in Sumatra and Java. So I did a tour with my band for like 7 cities, but all of them are in Java.
And in terms of the genre of music, is there a dominating genre of music in the country?
So it may be not as uh, really out, out there. It's not that visible to the masses, but the metal community in Indonesia is really, really big
Really?
and really well connected. And we have some bands that most Indonesians are proud of because they have been toured the world.
Do you have names?
Uh,
Are there any names you can share
uh,
that we can check
there's
out?
there's Burger Kill that is really big. I think they've toured Australia, Europe, and America, and there's Hammer Sonic is one of the biggest metal festival in Indonesia, and uh, it's always a big festival. It's a big event. Maybe not a lot of popular media covered it, but it's a lot, and people in the metal community buys merchandise. So that's what so they can prosper because of that.
Yeah.
But the so far the big thing is rock.
Okay.
So
And
metal and rock.
do when artists perform, bands, whether it's metal or otherwise, do they perform in English, or how does it work in Indonesia?
So most metal bands have songs in Indonesian, but it's the metal community has been big since like early 2000 and from 2010s till now. But recently, uh, there are musicians. One of the biggest musicians in Indonesia are starting to lean towards pop, but like not pop, but I don't know how to pinpoint it, but it's like a woke pop. So like the singer is not doesn't have the pop sentimentality like the pop singer sentimentality of like a good voice, but he has a really great attitude and has really great lyrics. And there's this one guy, so he has this guy from there's this rock band called Feast, and the lead singer is has his own solo project. It's a little bit like electronic pop thing, but he doesn't really sing like a pop singer, but it got a lot of attention, and he's one of the biggest musician right now in Indonesia. So
Is
that
there
works.
in
He sings in
yeah, I was gonna say.
Indonesia, but there's another one also like this R&B uh, pop kind of rock. So he's trying to channel Alex Turner from Arctic Monkeys, but in an R&B way. He sings in English, but he has a lot of fans, and he just started last year, and he's one of the biggest thing right now, and he sings in English. He already has 3 albums out in like 2 years, and he's like one of the biggest thing right now. And we are all just realize that our audiences has caught on. We do like we can accept English singing musicians from Indonesia.
What
There has been a lot of English singing musicians in Indonesia, but not this big.
Yeah, and what do you think personally? Do you feel that if someone sings in Indonesian, they're more likely to succeed, or if they sing in English, they're more likely to succeed? Like, do you feel that language is a factor in the success or failure of an artist?
I think in the bigger picture, if you sing in Indonesian, it's definitely more people can relate to it, because even though we do consume a lot of like popular culture from America and from the UK and Australia, but uh, most of the demographics, like majority of people in Indonesia are the middle to lower class people that dominates the population. So, and most of them are like more, not all of them can speak English. But when I realized, because of that singer Pamungkas that has been started to garner attention last year, I think the people has caught on. People has been, because of the internet, people caught on and can actually uh, accept English singing Indonesian musicians to be that big.
Okay, cool. That's good. I mean, here in Lebanon, we have a lot of artists who sing in English, and they like kind of populate the independent music scene. Compared to the big Arab pop scene, it's all in Arabic, and
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, it's not similar at all, but just in the sense that the mass listens to Arabic music, and you have little niche markets here and there, but it's such a small country that, I mean, we depend ultimately on performing outside of Lebanon, and
Outside.
yeah, but
And where do you like usually from musicians from Lebanon? Where do you guys usually have markets outside of Lebanon?
well,
Which
there's
cities?
because there those who sing in English, those who have successfully performed in English and were able to record albums and sign with labels and stuff, they tour in Europe. So they have toured, especially Germany, France, especially those two countries in Europe are the two ones where you see a lot of Lebanese artists have performed. But the others who perform in Arabic, it's a very regional thing. So Egypt is a huge market. Jordan
Yeah.
is less of a big market, but it's there. The UAE is a big market. So it really depends on. It's almost purely depends on the language you perform in. Because if
Okay.
you sing in Arabic, there's only one or two exceptions of artists who are able to tour consistently in Europe or the US or the UK because they're singing in Arabic. But the rest, it's based here. Moving on just quickly from this, so you're a musician, you're also a promoter, you're also an entrepreneur. So all these things means that you kind of notice things that probably others don't notice. And from your experience at the moment, with what's happening with COVID, with live streams, with all these things, what do you feel is the next step? What do you feel is the trend at the moment, or what's going to be, the trend in the next 12 months, in your opinion?
Basically, my hope is that in this situation, in this limited situation, that we can uh, provide music to the audience. Hopefully, something caught on, because I think right now everyone is trying to do anything that maybe can work, but everyone is in this unprecedented situation where we don't know what will caught on by people. Like people here trying to do virtual concerts, and that has been going on since the beginning of the lockdown, and it it doesn't slow down, but we still don't know if the people actually want this and take this as a substitute to actually watching the real thing. But we are trying to provide something new because of with this medium, with the screen and the audio. But uh, at the moment, I see most musicians, at least in Indonesia, trying to do something more. I see a lot of my musician friends opening classes, taking paid classes on songwriting, paid classes on music production, and actually opening their knowledge and expertise to a lot of people that really wants to, and for the price of a show, of a gig, for I think for $5 to $10, people can have like a beginner short course songwriting with one of the best rock frontmen in Indonesia, and he just announced it. And then I think I have two of my friends doing that also, and podcast and interviews like this has been a lot of people of doing this, even like my friends who are musicians, and it has been really really great for people to actually talk to their to the musicians that they really like. And because we are limited to only this medium, so everyone is focused on communicating through this. And it's a new thing. I find it really really refreshing, but I don't think people want to be like this all the time. So we have a drive-in concert, but only once, and I didn't see it going on again. I don't know if maybe it's a failure financially, but I saw it, and there's a lot of cars going in there. And I myself, to be honest, because Studio Rama is my the main business model is making events, offline events. So we were screwed on the first month of lockdown, and we uh, shift gear and then decided to go full on online. So we started to do music online concerts. We do DJ parties online, and then we do we do talk shows like this also with our friends from Sounds from the Corner, and it has been fun, but it has been uh, a downshift in terms of
Yeah,
making
of
money for
course.
sure. So it's 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 so limiting, and even if something like a drive-in concert, we limiting the people that can actually enjoy and buy tickets, but the production is still the same, so it doesn't make sense financially. So, and I've been seeing like people from abroad doing concerts, like Travis Scott doing concerts in Fortnite, and then Charlie XCX doing concerts through Minecraft, and then I don't know, maybe it's a catalyst for people who are really
Yeah,
forward thinking to explore new ways of
yeah, yeah,
enjoying music, live concert, maybe using VR or anything. But I think hopefully when things go back to normal, hopefully 90% of people going back to the way they enjoy music, live. But I think it's possible that 10% of them decides to
yeah,
staying in instead and enjoy music the
yeah.
new
Because
way. But that new way is really interesting. I don't know what will catch on to people this new way, but I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But
yeah, the thing is, I
to be
mean,
honest, I don't know.
so I with Beirut Jam Sessions, I organized 160 concerts in 9 weeks on Instagram. So I saw
Yeah, I
that,
saw it. I saw it.
yeah, and I saw the first, if you want, the first 2 weeks, the numbers were going up, and then I realized very quickly the numbers were going down, irrespective of which artist was performing. So I realized, that maybe the attention isn't there. It does this and it does that, just like all pieces of news or pieces of content or whatever. But
Yeah,
recently, after the Beirut blast, there was two concerts that were done to raise money for Lebanon. One was by Mika, the international star,
the
and
singer.
the other one was by Ibrahim Malouf, who's a Lebanese trumpet player who's very popular. So Ibrahim Alouf did his a week ago, and it was in Paris in front of a live audience. So in a venue with, like, I think 500 people or something. So you didn't really feel there was social distancing, but everyone was there. And he had, Sting performed, and so many different artists came in and collaborated. So it was a collaborative effort, but it was one venue, one show, different songs, same camera angle, if you will, those like 6, 7 camera angles.
Yeah,
What Mika did was a live streamed concert, pre recorded, same duration of time, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. And what I noticed was, I'm, as a viewer, was paying more attention to the Mika concert because every song was in a different location. So there was a core location where he was performing his songs. And then between each song, there was a guest performance where it was Mika who had pre-recorded something with someone via Zoom or whatever, different methods. And it just kept my attention the whole way through. And I was like, maybe that if an artist wants to go into the live streaming thing, it has to become an editing job. It has to become a movie making job more than, it's no more just, okay, we're playing an empty venue and we're recording it. It felt like I felt there was a switch. Like, suddenly this is creativity, and it keeps you watching because it's content. So I don't know. I feel that something strange was happening when I was comparing both of them, because they're both for the
yeah,
same cause, and they both had guest artists, and one was live streamed and one was live in front of an audience. So I don't know. Maybe something
yeah.
happened.
Maybe I take into a consideration that people are being used to watch contents at home, watching Netflix and watching YouTube. They are used to this type of content where it's edited. And basically, a virtual concert is an exclusive music video. It's a music video set in like a concert, or it's live concert movies. It's like Talking Heads movie stopped making sense. We have to be innovative, and we have to as a as a like what I did is also trying to uh, be up there like the contents that people are used to in Netflix and YouTube, you know. So uh, the same thing happened when I pitched an idea to a fellow musician, because they wanted it to be like a movie. So there is this singer that I'm currently developing her concert, a virtual concert, a live stream concert, and instead of doing it live like the traditional live thing, she wanted it to be, let's just like do it like a movie, like make the mindset to be like, let's make a movie or a music video out of it. And that's what works right now. And us people that always been has been doing live concert has to switch our heads to actually try to make it as entertaining as possible, because like you said, it's like a content. We have to compete with other contents, and if we treat it like a live thing, maybe it's refreshing because the other ones are edited, but they are more ready for that type of content. So maybe we have to adapt.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's something interesting. It's interesting to see what's happening anyway. I mean, eventually something is going to change. There's going to be a new type of normal eventually, but I mean, for
Yes.
now it's a strange but creative time, I think. And
Yeah.
speaking of creative, I've noticed that you work on different things that have nothing to do with music, unless I'm mistaken. So I saw there's, correct me if I'm wrong, there's the Ornaments Festival.
Yeah.
There's Sandar Andara,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right,
Magalarva.
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 So just give me quickly a brief of each one and what they are, because they seem like really super projects and that are really important for anyone who, in any society in general.
Thanks, Anthony, for noticing, man. So basically, Ornaments is the main the main festival that's only Studio Rama. So we have been dreaming to have a like a music festival by Studio Rama, and we did it last year. It's called Ornaments, and we were hoping for it to be an annual music festival, but in a bigger picture, we envision it to be an expo. So we're not only showcasing music, we also showcasing food and beverages, fashion, visual art, and stand up. So, so we wanted it to expand through all of those five pillars, but we build it upon the foundation of a music festival. So we were hoping for it to be has its own festival. So it's the music ornaments, the food and beverage ornaments, the stand-up ornaments, the fashion and art ornaments. We make those five ones smaller ones, and then we do the big ones with the music festival. So hopefully in 5 years it will be an expo with like five different rooms for each. But because of the COVID, we have to dial it down, and we are still brewing for this year's edition. Fingers crossed that we can deliver it a live stream edition at the end of the year.
Okay.
And Sandar Andara is uh, a sustainable housing that I did with the singer of my band. So on 2014, we had an opportunity to make a housing in 1,000 square meters land. And because uh, I have a enthusiasm towards architecture also because of my ex-girlfriend. So I started like, well, hey, well, why don't we uh, let's try to build a self-sustaining house in the middle of the city. So we did. This is a quite a small project, but we're really proud of it. We make 6 houses that are self-sustaining. So we make the plants that are planted in the house are edibles, so they can like they can take them and eat them, and then the water that is provided by the house, it's uh, uh, they uh, they recycle it from rainwater, and then most of the trash we recycle it also, even the organic ones, and we provide that for the people who buys the house. And we already sold all of the 6 houses, and we really want to do another one, but we don't have any other prospect land to do it on. And then from that project, we make another company, which is Magalarva. And Magalarva is basically, it's a waste managing company. So we take organic waste, and then mix it, we process it into protein. So most of the protein that people uses in the market are uh, fish proteins, but this one is larva or like maggot protein. So it's more sustainable options. And the larva is black soldier fly. So black soldier fly larva are eating the organic waste, and they are becoming a really good protein source. And then we make it into a protein powder, and we sold it for a protein. Uh, like if you see dog food, cat food, they have protein in them. So
Yeah.
we sold them to the dog food and cat food producers. So they use our protein sources.
Wow.
It's a
Okay.
more sustainable protein sources.
So it's made for animal
it
food
it, it
for
it's
now.
not only for now, but it's not only for animal food. So it can be any food or any edibles, even for people. If they have protein in it, they can use the protein source from Magalarva, because it's a more sustainable option. We're trying to make it a bigger scale, so we can actually compete with the existing market, which is fish protein. And yeah, fish protein.
Yeah.
But fish protein is a less sustainable option out there right now. And I think the future is larva protein, and it's
Okay.
really good for the environment.
Cool. I hope I'll be able to come over and see all of these projects and taste all of this stuff, and hopefully we could do that eventually. So
Yeah. Hopefully.
thank you so much for being here, man. It's been a
Thank you so
pleasure,
much, man.
and we'll speak soon about our boys here, and hopefully I can see you sometime soon in real life, maybe in Indonesia
Yeah.
or here in Beirut or again in
Yes.
Korea or somewhere, who knows. So
Hopefully, man. Hopefully
yeah,
soon.
so thank you again for being
Well,
here.
thank you so much for the opportunity to share, man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's really, really nice to talk
Yeah,
to you and to a lot of people in these hard times. Hopefully, everyone stay energized, stay excited, and stay healthy.
yeah, thanks, man.
All right, man.
Cheers.
See you.